Last time on There Be Dragons.
I found a bug. Come check it out.
You want to make some bog shoes?
It shrieks.
Oh, God! I also shriek!
From your direction of this magic, spores suddenly fly out. Abella, you immediately feel sick. You are poisoned for 2 hours.
Really, Skairn?
Look.
Nezor, you are quietly standing waiting for Skairn to return, and he doesn't.
Shouldn't he be back by now?
And then this thing just barrels into her and bites the rapier.
I don't fucking let go of that shit!
It latches onto your arm and begins to gnaw on your armor.
Bryson, get that off! Get it off! Take your armor off!
It's not until she stands from the water that you suddenly realise her short-cropped hair leads into scales that run the length of her body.
I'm going to cover Nezor's eyes.
I'm 21.
At this, Brother Tens gestures to it, goes, "The dragon reveals itself." And the others chant, "The dragon reveals itself."
What's your interpretation of what's going on?
For what is truly worrying is the passage of time. 12,000 years have passed in a single night.
How many nights ago was this?
Well, it's been, what, about 5-6 days since you left your name?
Yep.
So she goes,
5 days ago.
Oh, guys, we fucked up real bad.
Shoot Charlie a look.
Ring any bells?
We put it back, right?
yes.
We did, but we also used it.
Like, are you just observers, or are you just going to be, or are they going to, does this mean that they're going to try and enact something? Or...
Our prophecies are not the business of outsiders, and we are, for the most part, passive observers. But if properly motivated, yes, we could be moved to act. Such is the reason for my exile and my predicament. In the face of a more dogmatic argument, my knowledge was deemed as no longer relevant, and my objections seen as clinging to my role as a lawkeeper. But they do not seek to harm anyone. We seek only to be left as we are.
Good. I mean, I'd hate for blood to be shed over what's most probably a misinterpretation of somebody else's actions.
Way too late for that hope, Charlie. There's a war in progress, you recall?
I do. Okay. I feel, and I was sort of saying to Nezor, like, I feel that the last time we got involved with something grand,
It's pretty enjoyable.
we were of very little use. And I feel that maybe this might be one of those occasions where we learn that at the beginning.
Yes.
If
That
you get
may
my
well
drift.
be the case. However, we're still separated.
Yes, but from what the sister has said, we'll all be fine and we'll all find our way out. They mean no harm,
Yes.
and we all
We
had
know that.
we all had a direction that we were heading.
We know that. But I didn't trust Skairn last time I saw him. He was in quite a lot of emotional distress. The other two I'm not so worried about. I'm sure they'll be fine. Skairn is who I'm worried about, and if he is still hunting after Hrosh and they have Hrosh, it might not end well for everyone involved.
Hrosh? Who is Hrosh?
Hrosh is a friend of ours.
He's our angry companion's dragonling.
Oh,
Yes.
The appearance of anything relating to the constellation of Draconis. This may be a problem.
I would suggest more for Brother Tem and his not having holes stabbed in him than for anyone else. That's why I wanted to...
Charlie, you understand me so much better than I thought you did.
That's why I wanted to go see Brother Tem, so my friend didn't stab him to death for taking his dragonling.
So, Brother Ten is standing there holding Hrosh aloft. The dragon has revealed itself! And Hrosh extends his wings in a sort of like, yeah, what's up? Yeah. They all head towards this central point between these trees. It's in like a little campsite.
Uh-huh.
There are all these little Humpty tents and like...
Are the tents occupied?
No. Well, presumably they're the...
So, when you say how many people are there?
9.
9. Okay, there are 9 of them. Brothers 1 through 6, and then 8 through 10.
Not that Skairn would know.
You're just making assumptions on their genders.
Yeah, I am.
You know at least one
There's
of them's a
one
woman.
chick, and they cast her out.
There's one.
Yeah.
There is.
She's the one that was petting Hrosh. and
Stupid
getting all-
bitch who touched my dragon. All right. So they go where?
They congregate in the center of this space, and
Is
there's-
there an altar there?
Well, altar's not the right word. It's like a small raised platform.
Good. That's what I was worried about. Are they doing anything with the dragon?
No, they place him on the platform and then
Yeah,
put
yeah,
a soft cushion down. And
To
Hrosh
soak up
just
all the blood.
jumps on it.
All right. These stars.
Yeah.
What else do I know about any of these? Do I know anything about any of the other? The way that they are relating to each other? Can I?
It's like someone's grabbed the ceiling and just gone and twisted it. Yeah, and there's a new constellation. Which, I mean, like, you wouldn't necessarily think, like, looking at a star, you go, oh, yeah, there's a constellation, unless you're shown what it is.
Uh-huh.
But the difference is these ones are quite prominent. Like,
It's like if the Southern Cross ended up in the Northern Hemisphere.
yeah.
So, how close am I?
Well, you were keeping 20 foot behind, but
I
you
was.
didn't move any further, so they're probably about... I'd say you're at the perimeter.
Sure. I would like to basically just rock up. I would like to say, like, in my head,
Yeah.
Hrosh, I'm gonna come join the party. Wanna help me make an entrance, little buddy?
He is like, I am getting belly pats.
I'll give you belly pats.
Is that... I don't know if they're as good as these belly pats.
You have no idea. I haven't shown you my real belly pats. You want them to like you? You want them to think you're cool?
They already
You go
do.
away, then
Like
you come back, and then they'll be like, "Oh, you're so cool."
You get that, like, really frustrated feeling from... It's like he's an angsty teen, and he's like, fine. And he slinks out, and they just part and let him go through. They're like, ooh.
He would swoop.
Yeah, no, they just
He would
move out of
swoop,
his
and
way.
I mean, holding a little bit of meat at the top, bit of jerky.
Yeah.
And not even a little bit. It's a significant bit. I think that needed a significant bit.
Yeah.
Come along and say, and then it's like, hey, good to see you. I was worried. I was seriously worried about you.
His response is, this meat isn't as good as the meat they were giving me. Like, that's
in a
the
minute.
gist. He's like,
In a minute.
Yeah.
You get the good stuff when you've been good. You know this.
He's looking at you like a cat that's been staring at you for food.
I come in and go, friends. How weird are the stars, eh?
They all look at each other and murmur, and they're like, who's this guy?
At this point, Brother Ten interjects and says,
Welcome! Honored guest, please join us.
Politely honored friends. Hrosh here would love some more of the nibbles. And the belly rubs. You guys are great for this.
And you are?
I suppose it would not be unfair to call me Brother 11.
They all look at each other and they're like, all right. And then Brother 10's like, welcome, Brother 11.
Fucking sick.
Rhylind and Abella, you are walking down this cobblestone path that you have found yourself back on, a little out of breath, and you can still hear the calls of these strange creatures you've avoided.
Well, I think I'll be staying on the road. I don't know about you. That was quite enough excitement.
Staying on the road. My idea was bad, and we're just gonna walk.
Yep,
You walk on the road, and again, this is very boring.
Boring's fine.
There's just this ever-present fucking mist. It's just there all the time. And then a shape looms out of the fog, and you see the cart.
I hit it with my axe.
Sure.
You do
It does-
-1 damage.
Yeah. Let me tell the jokes.
So, was there a path? There was
It was a straight road. You went south, you encountered the cart. You went further south and then went, fuck this, and went bush. You got chased by these giant monsters, and then came up against the cart again.
right.
You don't go
Okey-dokey.
bush again.
Can I say, it's definitely the same car.
Yeah, absolutely. Same dead guy, same note. You have a funny-
I'm getting shades of that fucking tower right about now. I didn't enjoy that either.
Yeah, I can't help but feel.
Well, this is boring.
So I'm going to go out on a limb here and theorize if we walk in the opposite direction, we're just going to come at this from the other direction.
You know, I sort of think you might be right. But also, we can't. Well, we could try to go bush again, but.
Yeah, I feel like the two of us couldn't take those things. And I mean that in the
keen.
nicest possible way. Now
Oh
you're
no! Next time they come across, if I'm just running away, just running.
Are you tired? Do you want to get some
Look,
sleep?
I'm a little tired, but we may as well just rest and see if things look different in the daytime.
I guess we'll stay next to the carriage.
As you come to a decision as to what to do, from behind you, you see 3 shadows in the mist approaching. Charlie and Nezor. Sepitma is now pensively rubbing her chin with one of her hands.
This will only confirm Brother Ten's interpretation of the rising of Dragonis. The appearance of a dragonling is all the validation he will need to convince those who secretly doubted.
I'm sorry, how is him being stabbed to death going to validate?
No, I think
Did we not just say that my friend is looking for his little dragonling and he's going to stab them all to death? Was that not what we were just talking about?
I think she
like,
meant the
a second ago?
dragonling arriving
Yeah.
is the symbol.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was more concerned about your friends being murdered.
If he means ill to the Enclave, he will not survive. We may choose misdirection over violence, but do not think us weak, meek, or unable to defend ourselves. It would be a fatal mistake.
That makes me want to get my friend even more. I mean, he got angry when we punched the crap out of the big metal bird that jumps around here.
You fought a large metal bird.
We fought the Shrike.
You fought the Shrike.
Yeah, Shrike ran away.
See all these little holes?
Oh, she sees those and immediately is like,
You are injured. I have booties for this.
and she turns and she starts fossicking through her stuff, and she brings out this foul-smelling sap from a jar and just starts dabbing the holes.
I'm not going to stop her. I'm like, yes, well, that was all the bits that got punched off of it and smashed off of it going into my...
Shattered off of it.
Shattered off of it. So, I mean, I understand that you don't necessarily want us to go there, but either my friend's going to stab everyone to death or my friend's going to get...
Stabbed to death.
I really would prefer that didn't happen.
So Sepitma stares at you for a few seconds before just raising a hand in exasperation and says,
Outsiders. I suppose I could guide you to the glade. I will not be welcome there. And you must swear an oath to do no violence.
I mean, I don't want to cause any more problems for you, but
If I take you there, you will swear to harm none of them.
Not
I'm just-
unless they harm us first.
cross my heart hole, you know.
No, she's like, she frowns when you do that, and then she reapplies the poultice.
Yeah, like
Like we're not aggressive, but we know we're not aggressive, but we know how to fight.
yes, we're the most sensible out of all of us.
That's about
Roll me a
50% accurate.
persuasion check.
You
are
both of
going
us or just him?
Just FYI.
You're the most responsible.
No, what did you roll?
I rolled like a 4.
Oh, okay. She looks at you and is like,
I do not think I can trust your words, stranger. But what is said is different to what is done.
I'm sorry. No, I've just been.
He's been out of sorts recently, but he is a gentleman.
Yes, as a group, we've had a bit of a rocky patch, but I give you my word as no hard gentleman that no harm shall come to any of your compatriots.
So it's at this point you hear 2 sets of feet running over the top of this hovel.
Oh, by the starry sky, what now?
What?
and you hear like muffled shouting.
Somebody is running and shouting on your roof.
Are all outsiders as observant as you? Though I must admit this is not the first time this has happened.
Would you like me to shoo them away?
The mist will guide them safely on their way from here.
So, what you're saying is that you make people appear somewhere else? Or just make them seem like they're somewhere else?
They are guided by the magic of this place to a safe path. None of the creatures of this place will harm them as long as they stay on the road.
So there's a chance you know who that was?
It could be any traveler in this place. What was the number of your fellowship?
We were fairly sure we were alone in the forest and the swamp. So if there were people moved, they may have been our people that were moved?
Then perhaps we should search for them to set you on your way.
She rustles around and finds a cloak,
Crocodiles.
drapes it over herself, yeah, and then fossicks out like a quarterstaff from underneath her bedroll, and it's got a bit of an ornate end. It's like if someone had a branch and it kind of forked at the top.
Come, let us collect your friend's noble man, gentle halfling.
Skairn, the gathered group of people part as Brother Ten leads you into the campgrounds proper. And you notice that a smaller member, about 5'5", takes a moment before he realizes that he's supposed to get out of your way, and then does so.
You're guided to the central area, and as you walk in, you realize there's like a small fire pit in the corner. There is like a rotisserie something on there. Looks like maybe a large frog.
Cool. Large frog?
Yeah, like
Rotisserie frog.
yeah, like the frog would easily be the size of like a dog.
Wow, that's a large frog.
Yeah.
That's a salamander. I'm
bound.
just trying to think
Yeah,
of an
yeah.
amphibian that looks the size of a dog.
Yeah.
Frogs, we have them in the
Do
real
we have
world.
dogs that big? Or dogs that small?
Ooh,
rather.
frogs, like,
Bullshit, they're that big.
He's Googling this.
Yeah, I know. He's already Googled it. He's just, oh, shit. That's a small dog, though. It's it's a reasonable sized dog. That is... Yeah, all right. Those are toads.
I'm yet to see
That,
anything.
however, is fucked up. That is, what the fuck is
it's a
that?
statue.
Yeah, but they're very long. Like, that's a rabbit. Rabbits
I
extend
feel
out.
like we're getting away from the point.
That
It's
is about
upsettingly large.
5.5
No, I'll give you.
foot long.
I'll give you, it's upsettingly big for a frog.
Yeah, that's about the size.
If I saw that in the wild, I would scream.
Okay, so the rotisserie spitting that shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it looks delicious.
Yeah.
You could get into a fist fight with that frog.
I wouldn't want
I
to get
would
into
pay
a kicking
good
fight.
money to see you in a fist fight. Like, I would pay top dollar.
Yeah, so there's a frog that's been set to spit, and there are small sacks of what look like belongings, root vegetables. There are like jars of things that you've never seen, probably things you might want to put in your jar.
My jar is gone. You broke it, remember?
Did I break it? Or did
Well,
you
you
break
see, I tripped and it was your fault because
like-
you're the dungeon master.
It's like a parent's answer. Did I break it or did you?
Put it this way, there's about 10 or 20 different
Shit
jars.
that I might want to
Yeah,
steal.
you
Okay.
might want to have a look at if you're so inclined.
I look.
realize
Can
you're-
I perception them and
Yeah, yeah,
investigate them? Maybe.
Sure, if you want to.
I like
they
perception's
are all
better, but-
watching you as you approach, though, just FYI.
Okay, well, I'm not going to like do it obviously. So perception would probably be more like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to percept what they are. Very poorly, as it turns out. 11.
What important.
No.
That's enough.
Wait, 12.
Wow. These look to be like different roots, mostly. There is a small jar of tadpoles.
Ooh.
And there's like an eye in one, like
Looking
dried
for a
eyes.
jar more than stuff.
Yeah, there's just lots of different crap.
I say to one of them, the short one,
Yeah.
as I go past him, do you happen to have a spare jar?
And the shorter one, he runs over to the area.
Because it
and
seems like
sorts-
everybody else has got jars of stuff.
He looks through something and he finds like what looks like some kind of jelly, and comes back and goes, "Honored guest."
Much obliged.
Brother DeVito.
9. Brother 11.
No, he's 5 foot.
Oh,
he's
Brother
Brother DeVito.
right. I get it. So there's a jar of jelly.
Yeah.
Okay. If I put the hand in the jelly,
Yeah.
does that go in, or is it just like
Yeah.
a pile of bones at
No,
the
it
top?
goes in.
Okay, well, I put the hand. I like this. It's good. It's the suspended medium. It makes it make sense. Okay, so I shove the hand in the jelly. What was the jelly?
It smelled like strawberries.
Oh, cool. Could you give me a jar of strawberry jam? Can I try?
What?
Can I try it? Can I sniff it?
Yeah, it smells like strawberry jam.
Fucking sick. Okay, I don't even need to try it. I put.
Honored guest, please join us by the
I
fireside.
will. This is.
And Brother 10 puts he puts a hand on your shoulder and guides you.
Can I? What can I insight about Brother 10?
He just comes across as very on point. Everyone seems to defer to him.
Uh-huh.
Like, for instance, when you asked about the jar, Brother DeVito apparently had to look over
I
it.
love that.
Yeah,
That's right.
that wasn't his name, but I think
No,
that's going to be
it
his name.
should be
yeah.
his name. No, it shouldn't because I
Hasn't
actually.
earned a number yet.
No, he hasn't. DeVito is their language for number 17.
He's got another half a foot before he can get his number.
Yeah, they grow like
Is he?
mushrooms.
How old is he?
Indeterminate. They're all wearing these hoods.
Okay.
Again, it's this weird, horrific.
Where do I get a hood?
Brother 10 looks to the woman that was with him before and clicks at her, and she takes off the hood, and it is an elvish woman.
Oh yeah.
And her face is scarified, just all these little cuts on them, but ritualistic with a green stripe running down from her lip to her chin.
Oh.
And she has very short cut black hair, and she just hands the hood to Brother 10.
My
And
goodness.
he passes that to you, and she throws you a really flirty wink. So.
Get in there.
Oh, look, I can't blame her. So
Hrosh is just
wouldn't you?
I told you.
I know. I was saying to him, dude, these people are not on the level. I am playing them.
It's I don't care. I'm going to get belly rubs. And
You
he
go
crawls
for it.
down your arm and goes on to
go
the
for it.
pillow.
Go for that one. The one that without the head.
She walks over to Hrosh and starts stroking his belly.
Yeah.
And she is cooing at him.
And I look at her back and go, hey, baby.
Oh, she's wearing.
And I put the headpiece on.
Yeah.
And I say, I went in taking it from her. I'm like, oh, this is fine. If you want it, no, I will. But thank you. And puts the headpiece on.
Brother 10 again guides you gently. It's in no way forcing you. It's almost like you don't realize that he's doing it. He's just one of those people who sort of oh, you must meet these people. Please follow me."
Yeah. He's a Mormon. Okay, I got
Yeah,
you.
no. So he sort of walks you over to a nice. There's a nice piece of stone that's been
I'm not allowing. I just want to say it right up front. I'm not being chained to anything.
No, it's just a piece. It's a piece of stone that looks like it's been placed there like a seat.
I'm not sitting on that shit.
Okay.
I've
don't
already lost
detect-
4 health points.
You don't detect any
Good.
magic, I guess, from it.
Is there any menhirs nearby?
Menhirs?
Yeah.
Roll me a perception check. Oh, actually, do you have low light vision?
Yes.
You can see there are 1 or 2 menhirs within your line of sight. And they are pretty much in the tree line
Cool.
that circles this area.
So Brother 10 gestures to the stone and goes, "Please, take my seat."
I
No.
must insist.
No.
You are our guest here this evening. I am but a humble servant of my order, please.
Brother Ten, I am a humble servant of mine order. This is no need. You are the ranking member of this order. I do not wish to supplant you. This is not my intent. I am here purely as a representative of my clan.
He gives you a strange look for a second, like, huh. A representative, you say?
Yeah.
Please, do tell me more, honored guest.
This is not the only circle to have noticed the stars.
Well, of course. Otherwise, how else would you and the chosen child be here?
Exactly.
It is portended.
Indeed it is. He brought me here himself. I mean, he and the metal bird that he was attacking.
Ah, you speak of the Shrike.
Yeah. That thing. Attacked by it, yeah. After
He was, in fact, engaged in battle.
No, it was after he... What's the word? Dismounted.
So, Brother Ten sort of just stops for a moment and he goes like, he's trying to put it together, like reconcile something, and he goes, so he rode the Shrike as it were a chariot from the heavens.
Look, you may be... I don't know about chariot. More unwilling steed. When you say Shrike, I recognize the bird for the movement, but is a lot bigger than I would expect. I know, right? Yeah. So it's very large.
Enough.
Yeah.
He throws a look at the short Brother DeVito, and it's like, stop it. And then he goes, I must confess myself, Brother 11, to be somewhat perplexed.
Oh, you got me both, man.
May I ask you...
He mutters.
May I ask you, from what clan do you hail, and from where?
Oh, from the far north.
You must forgive
my
me. I do not...
The chosen child and I took flight as soon as we received the portents. And, well...
At the took flight, the rest of them all go like...
and made some haste to this circle. He leads me, I follow.
I understand, he says, just very, very matter of fact, and goes,
Do you?
I do.
Explain your understanding and I will confirm it for you.
Brother 11, you are an honored guest here.
Yeah?
And I have taken your time with mindless prattle. Please enjoy our victuals. He turns to like the nearest cloaked figure, who's this rather large, rotund man, like very big in the gut, just like clicks and points, and he scuttles off and brings back like a big case of, smells like beer.
Now, let us celebrate the grand shift and the arrival of the chosen child. Following Sepitma from the hovel, it's not too long before she stops you.
And you hear like shouting in the distance and running, and someone's shouting like money, like numbers, something like...
Gave me 3 ducats, you bastard! 19, Rhylind! 19 is what I just threw away!
In response to this, Sepitma turns and looks to you and says,
We should be careful venturing forth. I saw metal eaters nearby during the day. They crave the bounties of the earth. Gold, silver, steel. You do not have any of these with you, I trust. If you do not wish to attract their attentions, it is best you leave these behind.
Are we coming back this way?
If all is well at the glade, your friends may also stay at my home until daybreak.
Like, I have some coins,
The
but
only steel I have.
Right. Are you attempting to like flirt with her?
No, he's just, again, mindlessly like... Sure.
Hey, it's working.
It's just like...
Yeah, no, it's working even if you didn't intend it. She just sort of gives you like a second look like you're a very strange man, but I find that alluring.
Yeah, no, I have nothing made of metal.
Then let us depart.
I need both of you to roll me stealth checks. Cool.
12.
15.
Okay, you're fine. Yeah, you follow Septima as she winds through these trees, and you see these large shapes all heading in this one direction, and then one stops and seems interested in something, and then you hear these shouts going over the wind, and so you follow this. You break out onto this road, and you see these 3
lobsters.
Metal lobster.
feasting on the ground. They just seem to be chewing this up, and you can hear it's almost like the sound of coins being clanked against each other. And the one closest to you, because there are 2 ahead who are sort of still fighting over this pile of coins, one of its antennae goes up, and Septima looks at both of you and goes,
It can sense the presence of metal, but has not seen us yet.
the second antenna comes up and starts flopping around.
Are you carrying money? Coins?
She starts scrabbling on your belt, looking for a coin pouch or something, as this thing starts to turn and look towards you. But then it also stops and then looks back towards the other 2 that are still fighting over this small pile of coins. It's very rapidly diminishing. What would you like to do?
How far away are they?
About 30 foot.
30 foot in front of us?
Yeah.
In the direction we're going?
Basically to your right.
So I'm going to mage hand.
Yep.
And I'm going to put 15 coins-ish
Sure.
into the mage hand and drop that over there.
Okay, so these coins float out, and
The first one hops a little bit towards it and seems to be almost scenting it out.
and then the other 2 further down start with their antennae, start sort of sensing its presence, and they start chasing it, moving out of your way. The road is clear. Both of you roll me perception.
18.
15 if I... Yeah, 15.
She's doing something with her staff, and you can actually see that the mist is starting to dissipate on the road. And ahead of you, you can see
2 familiar figures running as fast as they can away from you.
Shall we follow them?
Yeah, it
guess
could be
so.
funny.
Rhylind and Abella, the longer you stare at these figures coming to you in the mist, the more defined they become. And as they move, the mist seems to part in front of them, revealing a cloaked figure holding a staff.
And then you see a lumbering giant step out from behind her, a small, shadowy figure sort of approach. And then...
My mage hand, which I never got rid of, just waves at them.
And it's Nezor, Charlie, and a horrific monster elf.
Oh,
Hey!
this is Septima.
She waves.
Hi, Septima.
She's not in control of the mist, but she can control the mist, so she's kind of cool, I guess.
Cool.
Handy. Is that?
So my sword got eaten?
Ah, by the metal things?
Yes!
Yeah.
Oh my god.
She walks over to the carriage and starts to inspect it and is making a tutting sound. Looks in the doorway, makes another tutting sound, turns back to Rhylind, looks at you and kind of just goes,
This one should not journey with us to the glade.
I'm sorry, what?
The people who have Hrosh kind of have this idea about dragons and a dragon constellation, and if Hrosh has got them all frothing, then I can't imagine.
But no,
You're going
are you kidding me? I want this goddess of a dragon lady
Oh,
to
thank you.
walk in and basically take control of the place.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing to me.
Oh my god. Is that even an option?
If we stand on the side of the road talking about it, by the time we get there, either Skairn's going to be murdered or they're going to be murdered.
To be fair, we've
death.
only been talking about it for about 10 seconds. So.
Yes, but we've been talking about it a long time before we heard you running across the roof.
Well, to be fair, we did not know that. What do you mean across the roof?
What?
What?
As I said, she controls the mists. There's just
I don't want
places
roof.
in the
I-
same
you know what,
place.
I don't think this is
Okay.
relevant
So
conversation.
Just to be
am
clear-
I not coming because I'm dragonborn, or am I not coming because I'm literally covered in metal?
Septima raises a placating hand, and you notice that it is deformed slightly, is scaled, much like the rest of her body. And she speaks to you with crocodilian teeth and says,
I do not think it wise to excite Brother Ten any more than he already is. But if you are determined to follow, I would suggest that you keep to the shadows and not reveal yourself.
Could we keep... I think this is a good idea. Let's keep you as a backup. If things start to go south with these people, fucking
Flying.
dragon lady who just marches in and
She
rocks
looks
these
at
people's
your
world.
axe, though, and your armor and goes,
If you mean to harm my people, our business ends here. But if you, like they, promise to seek only a peaceful resolution, I may still yet guide you, Outlander.
It's so lucky I'm not there.
Right. I will not shed blood unless it is in defense of my own life.
That is acceptable.
I'll
Alrighty.
also stay out of sight unless absolutely necessary.
I can message you. We'll be cool.
and then she looks at you, Rhylind, for a moment, and then starts taking her clothes off. Yeah. And then holds out this this cloak to you, and it's made of leather. It's like a hide.
Cloak yourself in this. It will aid in hiding your presence.
Do I find her attractive?
I will describe her to you, and you can make the decision. I don't think that should be determined by a roll.
No.
So she's fairly shapely. She has short black hair, and her entire body below, like the neck and the face, is sort of this crocodile scale. Her legs end in these sort of like floppy claws, almost like a crocodile claw, and her hands are relatively like humanoid, but still have these scales. It's like she got caught. It's like if she took a crocodile and mixed it with an elf, and there's like 75%
This is an
crocodile.
animorph.
Kind of,
Not
yeah.
quite.
Heck, I'll
mixed.
tap that.
Yeah. All
I'm a
right.
scaly dragon lady myself. I can hardly discriminate.
Yeah.
You said shapely, right?
Yeah, fairly shapely. Like not.
He didn't say what kind of shapes, but she's shaped.
I mean, I can give you a cup size if you'd like. Is that what you're asking?
It's
me?
all
Does she
right.
have a cup size?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's covered in scales, but she has one.
There's an impression of boobs yet.
Yeah.
It's about a
Okay,
pint.
like Ryland's not going to let this affect her judgment, but yeah, should tap that.
Sure.
She's kind of curious.
She's reptilian curious.
I'll offer her my boxing robe. Like, as in...
Yeah. Yeah. No, she takes it. She's sort of surprised by it, and she goes,
Thank you. I do not hold the taboos of you Outlanders, but I will not pretend that I do not feel the cold at times. You are kind.
I sort of give her a nod.
Rhylind, since you seem to be interested in this woman, that leather cloak is actually surprisingly comfortable.
I'll bet.
It looks ragged and tattered, but it's probably more like of the look than the function. And it actually has like an inbuilt cowl.
Cool. I pull the cowl up
Yeah.
and roll my eyes. Now I'm safely concealed from the masses.
Yeah.
Shall we?
She puts on the robe and leads you off into the underbrush. Skairn, you have been drinking and cavorting with these people.
When you say drinking and cavorting, he's drinking, but he's not getting drunk. He's been taking sips, not
Alright.
gulps.
Sure.
You fill up the cup and then you gesture a lot with your hand. and sort of, spilling most of it. And like,
yeah. There's a lot of it's fake drinking and not drinking and and acting
Yeah.
a bit merry but not actually being merry.
Okay, roll me a deception check.
15.
You're doing this, and the whole time you're doing this, the others, especially Brother DeVito, I'm just going to go with that name because it's too
Really,
good.
Brother DeVito?
Here's a question. Do you want to ask him his name? Like, do you want to actually talk to these people, or are you just drinking and like, yeah?
Yeah, no. I'm having a whale of a time. I've danced with Sister 3. I've like bounced around with Brother 17. I've like
10 of them.
whatever. No.
Well, there's
I
10
know.
now with him.
There's 10 now.
11 if you count
11
the
if
chosen
maybe
child.
me. But so I don't know their names, and I would ask. I'd be like, "Hey, so what's your name?" Like
Thrisha.
What?
Thrisha.
Thrisha.
Let me just write that down.
Thrisha.
This is a human woman. She is about 40. Has taken her cowl off and also her leathers, and she is dancing naked.
We'd be dancing naked. I'm not dancing naked. Right.
Yeah.
She's young for me.
She's got like all kinds of crazy tattoos over her body.
Oh shit! Like what kind of crazy tattoos?
You know, like the Japanese style of art where there's just sort of all this stuff coming on. It sort of tells a story, but there's also like a shape to it as well. It's that kind of style. It's
Soleil's left arm.
Yeah, it's very.
There's one
it
for
is
viewers at home.
visually speaking very like Wotanish.
Cool. Okay. So she takes the robe off. I'm like, that's cool. So when you say dance, is there music?
No, it's like a strange. It's like they're on some kind of vibe.
And I'm not feeling the vibe.
I don't know. Are you?
Can I feel the vibe?
Yeah, try and.
I want to
get the
see if
vibe.
I can get the vibe. I don't necessarily want to react to the vibe. I just want to know what they're rolling on.
You want to perceive the vibe, not acquire the vibe.
Sure. So it would be a perception, yes?
Yeah,
Oh, it's 11.
that'll be enough. It's
good.
not difficult to see.
It's not.
You see the rotund brother who brought the beer over earlier, handing out mushrooms.
He's cool. I want to know if he's got something to smoke. Hey, dude, I'm not down for the mushrooms, but
Dude.
you got a spliff? You rolling some?
He looks at you strangely. That
rolled weed.
there are plenty of weeds.
Yeah, but good weed. Like.
Then this will be.
Yeah.
And he hands you a mushroom.
Is good. 999. No.
And he looks at you and goes, "Trust me. This will change everything." And then he pops one into his own mouth and disrobes himself. And he starts like gyrating with Thrisher. He is a very fat and hairy man.
I'm sure he is.
He's ruining the sandwich.
No, here's a good portion of the loaf.
Speaking of
Skairn
that,
takes the mushroom and goes.
Right.
He puts it in his mouth and goes,
It is like
but does not chew or swallow.
no, that's fine because
Come into contact with your mouth.
Yeah.
it is like putting a slimy. It's like putting a snail in your mouth. It's got a slimy texture to it, and it oozes.
I want to take it out immediately, but in a subtle way.
Like-
no. As in, yeah, I'm gonna go party somewhere else.
Yeah,
That sort of a thing.
deception.
Good.
Oof, that's good. That one.
Then mine is not. That is a 9.
Right, that's fine. That'll be fine.
Good.
As you're doing all this and like including like the I'm drinking.
Yeah, I'm partying and blue. No.
Yeah, out of like I imagine you would have
Like-
given like an ox horn or something to drink out of. But
Yeah,
you notice
drinking is my main poison.
you notice that Brother 10 has been watching you this entire time.
Sure.
And it's not like a constant watch, like he sort of just watches everyone reveling and he still hasn't removed his mask.
Cool.
His eyes get caught by the firelight through the mask holes and you just see that he's clocking you. And then the moment he sees you seeing him, he looks away.
So can I grab? Is there like booze or grab another mushroom?
There's a really large toad looking at you.
Was the toad previously a brother or a sister?
No, the toad is where Hrosh was.
Oh shit! Can I give a pulse for Hrosh?
He's the toad.
Good. Do I have a?
And he opens his mouth and like sound seems to come out, but it's more like joy.
I think you're high.
Oh, good. Okay, as long as my dragon isn't actually toad. Like, you've gone from one of the most useful creatures in the world to one of the least.
Also significantly less cool.
I'm like, good. Okay, I'm high. I'm glad. So I need beer and possibly some sort of restorative.
Yeah. So you turn.
Do I acknowledge that I'm high?
I think that you're probably like, I'm really high right
I was
now.
like, oh shit, good that I'm holding the mushroom still.
No, it's melting in your hand. It's just oozing
That's
these
messed a
rainbow
little bit. I
colors.
throw it away.
Yeah, right. And then you bring your hand up and it's still in your hand.
Okay. Look at my left hand. I'm like,
And then Brother 10 is right next to you.
oh,
It's like-
hey,
Brother 11,
hi.
you have been staring at your hand for the last 5 minutes. Is everything okay?
Brother 10, I'm going to ask you in all seriousness. Is there a mushroom in my hand?
No.
Good. I didn't think there was. That was a test, and you passed. Well done.
Brother 10's head is now like a crocodile face. It's funny.
I don't want to laugh.
It's very funny, and a tongue slides out, and it's like serpentine and hisses. I guess.
Is everything okay?
Look, man, it's so good. And I put my arm around him.
He's not there anymore. Instead, you're looking to your left and to your right, and then you see Brother DeVito like next to you, and he's like smiling and waving at you.
So I grab Brother DeVito instead.
Yeah.
I don't want to presume. What's your name?
And he just looks at you, and there's like a sibilant hiss, like.
That's not helpful. If I call you Brother DeVito and nod if you're okay with it, is that okay?
There's no more response from Brother DeVito. He just sort of looks at you with a goofy grin and just continues to wave. Roll me a Constitution save.
Oh, good. A natural 20!
Yeah, cool. You start...
+6. Constitution +5.
It's fine. 20 is absolutely enough to do this. And it's just sort of like coming down from this.
No.
And then you realize that what you've been talking to is the beer barrel.
Brother DeVito! Speak to me!
And that hissing sound
is emptying.
Yeah.
Can I grab a jug quickly? Oh shit! Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can I, at that point, say, like, now that I'm coming down, I'm like, well, I'm not high as fuck anymore. Where is Brother 10?
Brother 10's sitting at the seat he offered you earlier.
Oh, cool.
And he's just watching everyone.
He's watching me or
Frisha
everybody?
and the large rotund man are now getting it on.
In Congress. You go, girl. DeVito, beer? You like beer?
Yeah. Yeah, I like beer.
Let's bring a cask. What's your name? I was meaning to have a conversation with you, and then the mushrooms, and this keg. What's your name?
I am Brother Duma.
Duma. Cool. And what number would you be?
Number?
9? All right, never mind. Don't worry. It's things vary from coven to coven. Okay. Circle to circle, mother. So yeah, beer for you. Here you are.
As you're serving Duma with beer, Brother 10's noticed this.
Where is Hrosh?
Hrosh is just on his back and is being attended to by 2 other women. The scarified elf is sort of not praying, but sort of has her steepled fingers.
Are they on the altar?
On the raised step.
Good. Yes.
Stone.
And he's there.
He's there. He's still there. He hasn't moved. He's still on his little plush cushion, which looks like it's been stitched together.
Purple?
No, it's like a brown. It's made from local reeds and things.
How
And the
long
other.
were you high for?
A lot. I'm a bit drunk. How long was I high for? DeVito, how long was I high for? I'm cool and hip and with the kids and so forth.
Sure.
I'm not really having to roll deception for that. Yeah, hey, that's quite good. 15.
As I said, as you're sort of serving Brother Duma, Brother 10 does get up again and wanders over and goes, "Is everything all right?"
Oh, I've got my arm around Brother Duma.
Yeah. He's loving it. He's having a great
And
time.
I'm going to put my other arm, probably holding a stein, around Brother 10.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Brother 10, you're not indulging. What is this? There are some mushrooms around here that are freaking creepy, yo. So where is those mushrooms? This is good.
Brother 10 just prefers one to you. He goes,
Oh man, I am still riding high on the last. You go for it.
Brother Duma actually swipes it out of his hand, and you see like a little, like his head just looks at him, but it's already in his mouth.
You roll, Brother Duma. You roll, and I put my fist up to pound it.
He reaches out and does like the handshake version.
Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Duma is cool.
The other figures in this group are like either talking amongst themselves or there's varying degrees of disrobing, etc. Brother Ten, like, you're not quite sure how he does it, but he sort of disengages Duma from you.
Oh, cool. See you later, bro.
And then does that thing where he just sort of guides you and you're not quite certain why you're following, but you are. Then he withdraws the hood and you see a very young looking elvish man with platinum blonde hair, a tattoo that runs along the lower half of his left jaw, and wearing cobbled together glasses.
Oh.
And he looks at you, and as he does, the glasses, they glint in the firelight. And he goes, let us talk about why you're here. And he gestures up to the sky, which is no longer overcast, at least not here. There's like a gap. And it's almost like it could never be overcast here, like clouds that part and roll around. And he gestures to this constellation. He goes, Draconis rides high.
The dragon rises. It never ceases to amaze me.
Exactly. The dragon rises.
Yeah.
Come, I want to show you something.
Show me. I'm so deep in this right now.
And he walks you away from the group, and you see, just as you leave, Brother Dumas licking a pebble.
You go, Brother Duma. That Duma guy, he's cool. You should like him more.
His brow furrows. He goes, our mother intended us to always be together, but I find him more of a hindrance than a help.
No. I think if you look deeper, you will find his hidden strengths.
Brother Ten just looks back at Brother Duma licking the pebble, cooing to it, and then looks back to you.
I grant you, they're hidden.
Very doubtful. But he presses forward and he goes, follow me. And he conjures into his hand like a small flame and leads you towards this stone structure. He looks over his shoulder just back towards the others and goes, this is forbidden to show others.
Yeah.
But as an ambassador of the Northern Clans, I feel it is my duty to share my knowledge with you privately. And he gives you a small smile.
And he gestures to the wall, and it's made of the same white stone that you've seen. Mm-hmm. He places a hand on it, and just very quickly, there's like a flash of something under his palm, and these little grooves that you saw in it that look like weather-worn light up, and it immediately strikes you that this is exactly the same as that doorway that you saw beneath Arim.
As the door retracts, it reveals a small antechamber that is bisected by this large tree, one of the 5 that you saw as you entered the glade. And you can see that as though almost grown through some kind of natural magic or possibly well-tended ancient gardening, a rudimentary staircase has been grown from the side of this tree that winds around its length to a platform far above you. Brother Ten takes the stairs that wind up and around this massive tree trunk. It rises nearly 60 foot above the ground before it ends in a large balcony that winds its way around nearly half the tree. This place looks lived in. There are small, delicate instruments on a table to your side, and you can see a telescope that appears to be made using branches and wicker. He walks out, turns to you with a wide gesture, and says, this is my private quarters.
I understand.
You do? Well,
for a brother to show another brother his private quarters, I am honored.
And he walks over and withdraws a bottle of something from a small shelf.
Only if you would do me the honor of joining me.
Of course. And he pours himself a small bowl. So like 2 small, like sake cups. He offers one to you and starts to drink from his own. And then as he does, he gestures to stand with him at the edge of this balcony, looking out at the night sky.
Are you two gonna fuck each other?
If that's what it's gonna be, man.
Looking out, Brother Ten then says, with the coming of the chosen child, the great shift will herald the resurgence of the primordial earth. Can you even conceive of it?
This is what we are feeling in the north as well. When were you... I wish to know when you interpreted these signs. The stars are different for different places.
Well, the great shift happened not 5 days ago.
Same for us. Good, okay.
And this has, of course, been a subject of great discussion amongst us.
Do you know the cause? Or do you suspect
the
some-
gods?
Yeah.
What else?
But which god?
Roll me a deception check.
Oh, heathens. 18.
And he points and he laughs and he goes, you play games. Of course you know what gods.
Yeah.
The twins, of course. They dance, you see, and he extends a hand. Yeah, no, he's definitely coming on to you at this point.
We're alone, yes?
Yeah.
Good. I take his hand and move in for a sort of a waltz.
Yeah.
And I say, how do you mean they dance?
Septima guides you deftly through the mist, seemingly knowing the steps without even thinking. As she brings you closer to this source of firelight and the sound of revelry, the mists recede to nothing as you exit out into the very edges of this glade. Still obscured by some of the trees, you can see the inhabitants' silhouettes projected onto the large structure that dominates this place, a sunken, almost Colosseum-like structure made of white stone. Growing from it is one of the 5 largest trees you've seen, gigantic cousins of those you've been passing in the swamp all night. Septima, however, is preoccupied, noticing 2 people who are very enamored with one another's company. She sighs to herself and then says,
Oh, Tisha. I have told you he is not good for you.
Do we just...
Trisha's not a... Is Septima your real name?
She just looks at you.
I thought there was a whole number thing going on.
You're such a rude little...
Do we, like...
I'm tired.
Rude, do we, like,
You see a man, like, licking a rock nearby?
Kind of glad I get to hang back now.
Cool. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say these people probably aren't super aware. So I'm like, all right, well, yeah, I reckon just go up and talk to one. Thoughts?
Maybe we should ask Septima how she thinks we should approach this. Just a thought.
Basically, I'm not planning on hanging around with everyone. You're all squares. You're going to bring the party down.
Hey, Septima, who should we talk to here? Is there, like, a leader here that we can talk to?
Brother 10 is now, I suppose, nominally the leader of the Enclave.
Great. Which one is he?
I do not see him amongst the others. Perhaps he has retired to his sanctum.
She points up to the tree.
Abella is done with this day. Abella's like, fuck it. Hey, Nezor, are you coming with? I'm just going to go knock on this dude's door.
I want to make sure Hrosh is okay first.
All right, well, shall we see if we can find him? I don't think anyone's going to be paying us much attention. Yo, Septima, do you reckon that's a good plan?
If you are respectful and mean them no harm, you will be safe. I remind you of your promise, however.
Alrighty, well,
Yeah, Charlie's already...
gone and heading,
So it's like
right?
rock clicking, I can get down with that.
Guy seems to be the easiest to chat to.
Just so you're aware, you have to walk right through the middle of their camp to be able to do that.
That's fine.
Yep.
Let's
Okay.
see if we can find Hrosh.
All right, Charlie strides on up, and Septima just sort of looks at him and then looks at you, Rhylind, and goes,
Is he always so rash and quick to act?
With increasing frequency.
Septima grasps her staff and turns to look at you, Rhylind, and says,
I have business with the stars. I will find you when you are done here. Do not make me regret trusting you. And do not think that should you seek violence, that you will leave this place alive.
Thank you for getting us off that damn road.
Septima briefly inclines her head in response, and then hands over Charlie's robe before turning and disappearing into the mist. Charlie, you're ambling through the middle of this campsite when you see these 2 elven women fussing over something on a small stone platform. And as you walk near it, you see Hrosh's head pop out from the side, tongue lolling in absolute ecstasy, and he makes sort of a cooing noise towards you.
I'll probably wander over and sort of pet his belly with
Yeah.
the two ladies.
They both look at you, and then everyone, you notice, is sort of just looking at you as this giant lumbering man has just walked into their campsite.
Start petting the dragon.
Yeah.
I'll pull out some of Hrosh's, jerky stuff. I'm like, how you doing, buddy?
Is anyone dancing, or is it just moved on to the stage after dancing?
You know, the
That's a
drunk
step
chick that's
after.
dancing with the bottle at the end of the night? There's like one of those.
I think
Okay.
once I notice everyone's looking at Charlie, once I see Charlie go over in here and be like, oh, hey, buddy, I'm like, all right, well, Hrosh is obviously fine. I'm going to knock on this dude's door, come with or don't. I'm just going to fucking sort this shit out.
It seems like Charlie might need some help.
Alrighty, well, if you want to help him, you are more than welcome.
I'm gonna go see
I will not
Hrosh.
judge you for
But if
that
you-
decision.
Yeah, no, if you need me, just shout.
Meanwhile, Charlie, the scarred woman who was fussing over Hrosh in response to your arrival, gets up and starts to walk away towards the structure behind you.
That's the direction I was walking in, so now
Yeah.
me and the lady are walking in the same direction.
Yeah.
As she leaves, a small elf licking a rock walks in and sort of lazily looks over at the group that is assembled around Hrosh.
Can I get one of those rocks?
He just sort of stops, stares, wide-eyed, and then just looks at you and is like, just shrieks back like, there's this giant man who's just appeared next to me.
It's
So
okay. And ruffle his
you're
hair.
brushing like the head.
petting him.
Yeah. The cowl that he's wearing falls back, and you see that he's like this squat little elf, really, really like thin and feeble looking.
I'll offer him some jerky.
Yeah. No, he just sort of like leans in and starts licking the jerky.
Ooh, just to clarify, the intention of me being here petting Hrosh is if shit goes down, I can grab him and run. Because I know Stan can track him, so if shit starts going sideways, I can grab Hrosh and
Find the rest of you.
And
assume
my-
everyone will follow, and you can follow Hrosh.
Yeah. I just gotta murder some Brother 10 person, maybe.
No, you're not going to murder him. You're dancing with him, you cold.
I have yet to decide.
Rhylind, you're hiding at the very edge of the glade, and you're watching Abella's progress, as well as Charlie ingratiating himself with Nezor around Hrosh, when you hear the bushes to your left start to rustle, and from them emerges one of these masked revelers, who has clearly just answered the call of nature, and is now making their way back to the party. And as they do so, they just bump into you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't remember you.
And you won't. And I knock her out.
How do you do it?
I just clock her on the head.
Make an unarmed strength attack.
Oh, please be something good.
Oh yeah. Don't even roll damage. Don't even roll damage. Yeah, you're just like, and you won't. And down I go.
Problem
That
solved.
was fucking awesome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm just going to tie her to like a tree or something so she does
Just
wake
drag
up.
her away. Just
Well, there's
pretend you're
5 massive
dancing
ones
with
to
her.
pick from.
All right, I'm just going to tie her to the nearest tree and just stuff a rag in her mouth just so if she does come to, she can't immediately attract attention.
Sure. Abella, you see this elf with all these scars just beeline it towards the back of this area, and she's got like a spring in her step. Are you like racing her?
Yes.
Okay. So you both like sort of see each other and are kind of like walking at this hurried pace, and then doing that thing where you're both trying to beat each other to the goal point.
Yes, that is exactly
which,
what's happening.
Admittedly, you don't really know where
No,
that
I'm
is.
kind of following her lead. So, like, if I get ahead, I'm like, oh, gotta let her wait a bit. I'm just gonna give her like a, hey, how you going? It's been a long night. I assume for you as well.
Every night is a long night.
Alrighty then. I'm just lapse back into silence. Like, no, not after today.
Are
Just
you-
really not.
Are you with the Northern Clan?
And I stop. And I sort of like, yes. Our leader was sent ahead of us. And I'm like,
Oh.
crossing my fingers because I'm like, Northern Clan, why is she gonna talk about the Northern Clan? Oh shit! Hrosh is here. He can follow Hrosh. Found Skairn.
Right.
And I was like, I'm actually looking for him. Do you know where he is?
I suspect I do. And she sort of throws you a look and goes,
Why don't you come with me?
Nezor,
I point back at Rhylind and just to check up on her.
Yeah, you point back and you hear as she hits someone.
It's not a point. It's more of a you actually see her do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, and I'm like, so, Rhylind, what was that?
Oh, one of the revelers found me, so I knocked her out. She's fine. She's still breathing. She's fine. She'll have a bit of a lump. She's fine.
Yeah.
But you guys might want to hurry up and do whatever it is you're planning on doing.
Is there a plan?
I'm trying, okay?
We're kind of just taking it stealthily in small doses.
Right. Go on. Get on with it then. I'm fine.
You're having a lovely moonlight dance.
Sure. With Brother Tan.
Yeah.
Is his cowl down?
Yeah.
Okay. Skairn moves in, and it's like a pash.
It's like a pash.
But he goes up with one hand, like just sort of to hold the face.
Right.
But in the hand, he casts a second level chromatic orb.
Okay.
Okay.
Please tell me about this chromatic orb.
It's fiery.
Oh no! Why?
Look.
You could have nicely let him down. There is a third option there.
No.
You don't have to kill everyone that is a problem to you. Oh, how do I solve this problem? That is a living person. I'll just fucking harpoon him. I'm in a slightly uncomfortable situation.
So I'm not comfortable with my gay side. I'm just gonna blow someone up.
So, I want to be super clear. I'm not doing this because I'm not comfortable with my gay side. I'm doing this because the fucker stole my dragon. It's got nothing to do with the fact that he tried to kiss me. Skairn is actually kind of flattered. A bit. Not a lot, but a bit. He's like, oh, okay. This is... Sure. And, thanks for taking me off in a place where I can assassinate you nice and quietly. Because, also, want to be super clear. This was always gonna happen. Like, without backup, Skairn is like, okay, so I guess I murder all the it's...
Roll what you need to roll.
Okay. So it's roll to hit, but I'm like holding his face.
Yeah.
It's a surprise attack.
He's not expecting this.
No.
Good. Do I roll to hit?
Yeah.
Okay. Do
You
I
have
get
advantage.
Good. Oh shit. Yeah. Good. 16 plus my spell. 22.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah. Good.
Roll damage, please.
Good. Oh, bollocks. 12.
Do you want to?
I know, right? I rolled 4 d8s. A 3, a 7, and 2 1s.
Well, them's the rolls. So this is what happens. You put your hand on his face and proceed to melt it. As you do that, the only reason you don't just blow a hole clean through his head is that he reflexively pulls back from that. And he is screeching in agony. And you can see that you have burnt his face that badly. You can see
he's
the
gonna
eye socket. It's okay. It's bad.
Yeah.
But it ain't that bad. He ain't gonna die necessarily.
Not lethal. All right. Okay.
But he's certainly not gonna look pretty from now on.
I can
If he lives.
be very certain of that. Yeah, sure.
The others, you suddenly see this flame flare from this tree, and you hear a scream just permeate the air.
Oh, look, it's Skairn.
Charlie, let's get Hrosh out of here.
Thank you for listening to this episode of There Be Dragons. I am your Dungeon Master Matthew, and Abella DeRosier was played by Angela Lita Kay. Charlie Roughhouse was played by Tristan Doust. Nezor Valghoorlis, the Bard, and our sound recordist was played by Tom Moore. Scan Fellspar is played by Joshua Walker. And Rhylind Westfall is played by Keren Schlink. Guest voice actress Holly Jones portrays the voice of Sister Sepitma. If you'd like to know more about the podcast, check out our website at therebedragonscast.com, or you can check us out on Podbean at therebedragons.podbean.com. We also have a Twitter at TBDragonsCast, where you can tweet at us and talk about the show using the hashtag ThereBeDragons. There Be Dragons is edited and produced by Matthew Buss, and sound post-produced by Tom Moore. There Be Dragon's original score and soundtrack is composed and produced by Sean Tanian. You can see more of his work at SeanTanianMusic.com. There Be Dragon's art is produced by Brianna Manning. You can find more of her work at brepi.com. That's all for this week. Thanks for listening.